The story of the companions of the cave, a group of young men, lived in a society that persecuted them for believing in the one God. To escape religious oppression, they decided to leave their town and flee. The young men found refuge in a remote cave. They prayed for protection and guidance from God, asking Him to grant them mercy in their ordeal. In response to their prayer, God caused them to fall into a deep sleep. They remained in this state for an extraordinary period, completely oblivious to the passage of time. The Quran mentions that the companions of the cave stayed asleep for 300 years, with an additional 9 years. Their condition remained unchanged, and their dog, who guarded the entrance of the cave, also stayed with them. Despite the long sleep, the bodies of the young men were preserved. The Quran describes how God turned them from side to side to prevent their bodies from decaying, while the dog lay stretched across the entrance. Eventually, God brought the young men back to consciousness. Upon waking, they had no idea that centuries had passed, and they thought they had only slept for a day or part of a day. One of the young men was sent to the city to buy food. As he entered the city, he realized that much had changed. The currency he carried was outdated, which led to suspicion and curiosity from the townspeople. The townspeople soon learned about the miraculous story of these young men. The town, now under a more accepting ruler, had become monotheistic. The authorities were amazed by the story and saw it as a sign of God's power. After their story became known, God caused the young men to die peacefully in the cave. Their remarkable journey had served its purpose, and they were laid to rest in their place of refuge. The cave became a place of reverence, and people debated whether to build a place of worship at the site. The Quran leaves this detail without giving a clear directive, focusing instead on the moral lessons of the story: faith, reliance on God, and the fleeting nature of worldly concerns.